All right, so think about it, those massive income streams,
Mm,
like Netflix, Amazon, Disney Plus, billions just rolling in, right?
yeah.
Ever think like, can I just, I don't know, grab a sliver of that?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Well, buckle up because today we are diving deep into something called the Netflix Cash Loophole system.
Interesting.
So the big idea here, the core of it, is this promise of profiting from what they call a hidden online gold mine.
Right.
And all you got to do is share videos.
Sounds easy enough.
Yeah, on the surface, right?
Exactly.
But we're going to dig into that.
Yeah. How does that actually work?
Now, in today's world, I mean, come on, everybody and their dog is sharing videos online, right?
It's true.
So that alone, it's like, okay, is this really going to work?
Yeah.
But the stuff we've been digging into suggests you might not need millions of followers to actually see some results.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so let's break it down.
Okay.
First things first. What is this Netflix Cash Loophole thing anyway?
So the way it's presented is kind of like, tapping into a similar money-making model as those big streaming services like we were talking about.
Okay, so almost like a mini version of...
Yeah, kind of like a micro version of that whole system.
Okay, so like leveraging maybe specific platforms or methods of sharing
Yeah,
that somehow tap into an existing demand.
that's the idea.
So what are people saying about it?
Well, the interesting thing is we found people online looking for reviews specifically for 2025.
Oh, wow. So this is...
So it's definitely on people's radar.
It's a current thing.
Yeah, and they're asking the exact same questions we are.
Like what?
Okay, so first off, is there an app for this?
Right.
Because convenience is a big factor.
Makes sense.
Then what is the actual product?
Yeah, what are you actually getting?
Yeah,
Not just the idea of it, but the tangible thing.
exactly. And of course, how much does it cost?
Yeah. Are there hidden fees?
Are there upgrades? Are there...
All that stuff.
Yeah, you got to know that up front.
And honestly, little things like bonuses being offered or even just having an official website can make a difference, right?
Absolutely. It can either build trust or raise a red flag.
Totally. And then, of course, what are real users saying?
Yeah, that's the real litmus test.
Like, are there honest reviews out there? And what's the general experience been like?
Exactly, because
Yeah.
you want to know what you're getting into.
For sure. And something I always look for is there a demo or a tutorial?
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
Because if they're willing to show you how it works up front, that at least shows some transparency.
Definitely.
And for a lot of folks, the big question is this easy for beginners?
Especially if you're new to this whole world of online earning.
Right, because you don't want to get bogged down in a bunch of tech stuff.
Exactly.
And how quickly can you potentially see results?
Yeah, nobody wants to wait forever to see a return on their investment.
Exactly. And speaking of investment, what about the need for a website or a blog?
Right, because that can be a barrier for some people.
For sure. And let's address the elephant in the room. The big question, is this a scam?
I mean, that's always the question with these kinds of things.
Right, because if it sounds too good to be true...
Yeah, you got to be cautious.
So those are some of the big picture things.
Yeah.
But then we get into the nitty-gritty, right?
Right, the practical stuff.
Like, can you do this from your phone?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because mobile compatibility is key these days.
Huge. And how often do you actually get paid?
Exactly.
Not that-
Were we talking weekly, monthly?
Because that affects your cash flow, right?
Definitely.
And what about the actual content creation process?
Right. Are you making videos? Are you curating them? Is the system doing it for you?
Yeah, because that's a big-time investment, potentially.
Totally.
And what about international availability?
Because that can really widen your potential audience.
For sure. And is this a one-time payment or a recurring subscription?
Yeah, because that affects your budget in the long run.
Totally. And what about support?
Oh, yeah. Good support can make or break an experience.
100%. Because what happens when you run into a problem?
Exactly. You want to know there's someone there to help.
Absolutely. And then something else to think about is, do you need to pay for traffic?
Right. Because that's another cost to consider.
For sure. And I think for a lot of people, the dream is to replace their regular income.
Yeah, financial freedom.
So is that even a possibility with this system?
That's a big question.
And finally, what truly sets this apart from all the other online money-making systems out there?
Right, because there are a lot of them.
There are tons.
Yeah.
So what's the unique angle here?
Yeah, what makes this stand out?
So if we take a step back and look at the big picture, it seems like the Netflix Cash Loophole is really banking on this idea of video sharing as a way to make money.
Right, and it's drawing inspiration from the success of those big streaming platforms.
Totally. So it's like they're trying to carve out a niche in this whole online earning world.
Yeah, by offering a potentially simpler or different approach.
Okay, so to sum it all up, This Netflix cash loophole thing is about potentially making money by sharing videos, kind of like those big streaming platforms, but on a smaller scale.
Right.
And we've covered a lot of the important stuff you'd want to know, like what it is, how much it costs, and what other users are saying.
So now the big question for you is, does the Netflix cash loophole represent a real shift in how people can earn online, or is it just another fad that'll disappear in a few months?
Yeah. What aspects of this idea really stand out to you, and what would you want to research further?
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
And be sure to check out our other videos.
Yeah, we'll see you in the next one.
See ya!